And like culturally, the cultural experience, 18 months in Vietnam is
Oh yeah,
bonkers,
absolutely.
right? It's been amazing.
Yeah, it's more than just a holiday because you're living there, so you get to experience a lot more of the culture.
Yeah.
And that's something that I love to talk about with students every day.
All right, guys, RMIT CBD, and this is Lincoln. Hi, mate. Thanks for chatting.
G'day, how you going?
I'm really good.
Good.
Mate, tell me about RMIT. Studying down here in the city. What do you study here?
I'm studying business marketing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's really convenient. The campus here, right in the city, so
Yeah.
nice and easy on public transport or any way to get into the city, and it's just convenient being around nice places to grab something to eat.
Heaps of places. I mean, so much.
Absolutely.
Totally an advantage of being in the middle of a city. What's it like? Because I mean, this is like a discrete campus, right? Do you feel like it's got a? And we're in this pretty awesome building here. Like it's got a good campus vibe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's easy to make friends here. The way it's set out, like the environment, is really cool. You can get to know students really well through like the seating arrangements and just the way the building's set out and that sort of thing. So yeah, absolutely good campus vibe.
And RMIT is doing a lot of interesting, innovative stuff, isn't it? I mean, huge university.
Oh, absolutely. Way more than I can list. The architecture would be probably one that stands out the most, as you would have seen from walking around.
Yeah, it's amazing. And the thing I love about here too is the fact that you can come in and do vocational ed and then transition through into a degree, even then go on to research. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's
nice.
a bit of something for everyone. Yeah.
And now tell me a little bit about like extracurricular stuff. So obviously like you can do degrees and everything, but the uni does a fair bit of other stuff as well, I imagine.
As far as global experience, or
global experience. Yeah.
There's heaps of different stuff. There's so many clubs here. Myself, I'm a student as mentioned, but I work in the global experience office, so there's heaps of opportunities for students to get overseas.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that, about global experience?
Yeah, for sure. I can use myself as an example. So I actually studied at RMIT Vietnam in Ho Chi Minh City.
Awesome.
So that's an actual RMIT campus.
Yeah.
Which is one option students have, but there's actually over 200 different universities that RMIT has partnership with around the world, as well as study tours, work programs overseas, and global leadership programs, which are programs we run here in Melbourne.
Amazing.
So many options, yeah. So
what was RMIT Vietnam like?
Oh, completely different world, but
Yep.
yeah, really amazing, yeah. I can recommend it to anyone studying at RMIT or anyone studying in general. Amazing university. Most of the students there are Vietnamese, obviously, so it was really cool to work in a new culture, that sort of stuff, and get to eat a good food as well.
Nice. Tell me a little bit more about that, because that's a fascinating opportunity. Did that just fit like seamlessly into your degree?
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons I chose it, because it is RMIT in Vietnam. I could do a lot of my core subjects over there.
Yeah.
So I was able to knock out a lot of my marketing subjects over there, and didn't lengthen my degree or anything like that.
And like culturally, the cultural experience, 18 months in Vietnam is
Oh yeah, absolutely.
bonkers, right? It's been amazing.
Yeah, it's more than just a holiday because you're living there, so you get to experience a lot more of the culture.
Yeah.
And that's something that I love to talk about with students every day is the advantages of going on exchange rather than just going on a short holiday. Is you get to really immerse yourself in the culture.
For sure. And then so outside of like things like exchange and stuff, is there other things that RMIT offers outside, the academic programs that people take? I mean, there's tons, but anything stand? Are you involved in any clubs, societies, anything like that? Yeah,
absolutely. There's so many different clubs. Sports clubs would be the biggest, yeah. So, for example, there's a Kung Fu club that I'm quite interested in myself. That's really cool.
Sweet.
Heaps of sports clubs, heaps of academic clubs, yeah. Like more than I can list. Yeah.
Awesome. And if somebody was thinking of... Well, actually, before I ask that last question, you can see I'm going to have to edit this. You've been studying here now for a couple of years.
Yep.
Is there something that kind of surprised you about RMIT? Like, I'm not from Melbourne, so I don't know if people have some idea about what it's like to study here or not before they get here. But did something surprise you when you, like...
Yeah, a few things. The physical size of the city campus was quite amazing to see how big it is and how many blocks it does take up. Sometimes I have classes throughout the day and I have to cross the road to go to another class, which is
neat.
Just sort of outlines how big it really is. And then on a global perspective as well, that it does have more campuses around the world. So, we've got the 2 in Vietnam that I mentioned, and we've got a really strong partnership with Singapore Institute of Management in Singapore,
Nice.
Obviously. So not just the physical size, but the global scale of how widespread it is and how many students, RMIT students, there are studying around the world.
Epic. Last question. So, people when they're finishing high school, there's a lot of pressure to try and work out what you're going to do, and particularly going to like final exams, heaps of stress going into those final exams. Now, having been at uni for a few years, if you could go back and give yourself like some advice before you went into those final exams, what would you go back and say to yourself?
That's a really good question. Let me think.
Avoid time travel.
Yeah, something like that. Who knows? I don't know. It all worked out quite well for me. Study hard. Obviously, it's not something you have to really tell yourself, though, is it? Your parents tell you enough.
Yeah.
But don't study too hard, I guess. Like, don't take time away from your weekends. Like, it's important to obviously get into university, but you don't want to take time away from your life.
Yeah.
Either. So, yeah, that might be something that I'd tell myself if I could go back in time.
Do you think if people do like start any kind of degree and then they get here and it doesn't kind of work out and they want to change, is that hard to do if you want to like change direction once you're at uni?
No, it's not difficult, and it's quite common.
Yeah.
6 months in or 12 months in, students might realise that what they're doing is not what they love, and I think that it probably is a good choice to change, because you don't want to stick out 4 years of doing something that you don't enjoy and then set yourself up for a job that you're not really going to, enjoy either. So change. If you're not enjoying it, find something that you do love, switch into it and do that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome advice. Great chatting with you, Lincoln. Thank you, mate.
No problem. Thank you.